Back, we've grown up.
Hey, it's me, Harry's 083, and I'm here with my first Studio Series 86 review. It's gonna be of Decepticon Scourge from Transformers, the movie. Boom, 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 cha. Scourge. In the 80s, he was the robot that I desired the least because of his space boat. It wasn't as impressive as his as Cyclonus's jet and Cyclonus's bunny ears. But the if you look at G1 Scourge, he's not really cool. But now I do find the space soap boat appealing. I had I own several copies of the Titans Return version, which is also a good Scourge. Um, I don't have the stealth bomber that came out a few years before that because I was having money issues back then. As a Voyager, he's perfect. He's the perfect size. He's big and intimidating because I feel like when Unicron reformatted the Decepticons that he did, he wanted them to be bigger and badder. And Scourge is definitely bad. We're getting some sweeps. I think Cyber Cookie Reports um, posted that a leak that we are getting sweeps, but uh, in the cartoon, the sweeps and the Scourge look the same, so I couldn't tell the difference. The only difference was that Cyclonus would usually talk to Scourge. In the Headmasters, basically the sweeps disappeared and it was just Scourge until Six Shot took over the show and was like Galvatron's right hand man.
Ooh, ooh. Oh, that hurts. Who opened the door? Oh, I'm so sorry. But what are you doing here anyway, huh?
But in the cartoon, the sweeps and Scourge, I couldn't tell them apart. I got this guy from GameStop. I got both of these guys from GameStop. I was lucky enough to find him. He's not on Big Bad Toy Store, and I think he might be sold out at Hasbro Pulse. But usually when I'm looking for something, I'll Google like Studio Series 86 Scourge and I'll look at the results and see what shows up. Sometimes I'm lucky and I find what I want. But I did get him from GameStop. Because Studio Series isn't a new line like with Kingdom. I because of the Power of the Primes leak years ago, I learned that Hasbro does have a schedule, but it's usually with new lines. First wave is usually supposed to come out the beginning of December. Second wave is the beginning of April. And the third wave is usually the beginning of July. So Studio Series isn't like that. It's an older line. So I couldn't wait to see if these guys would go on clearance because the B127 and Dino and the Bumblebee Starscream, they already showed up and they're the wave after these guys. So sometimes they do show up. My local Target has a couple of blurs. But this guy, he's packed one per case. It's him and two Rodimus. So he's short packed. And I don't know if they're gonna show up again later down the line. Hopefully if Hasbro's smart, they'll probably on Hasbro Post they'll stock up and add more scourges because people like to army build. Even though we're getting the sweeps, I have a bad feeling that maybe the sweeps are going to have a different color scheme. That maybe they'll be like a different shade of blue. The accessories that Scourge comes with, he comes with the Matrix of Leadership to get Puffy. I'm just kidding. That Matrix of Leadership is from Hot Rod. He comes with his gun and a blast effect. And he also comes with a background of him getting reformatted. Here you have kickback and shrapnel. The back end packaging confirms that he is indeed Thundercracker. Even though looking at the background that he comes with, he's with 2 other Insecticons. So it's like they are saying he's Bombshell, but then they're in the package they're saying he's Thundercracker, further confusing the fans. I don't care about minutia like that. But I do think it's cooler that he's a seeker. It makes him easier to be possessed by Starscream. Articulation that he comes with. He can do the pose, which is in one of my videos I used a picture of Han Solo shooting. Basically, you could bend at the knee, the hip. Starting with Siege, a lot of Transformers come with articulated ankles. He has mid-shoulder joints, elbows, no swivel arms. I mean, no hand swivels. And I noticed there are screws in his forearms, so that's like a first. He has his neck with his popped collar and a great face sculpt. Evil and menacing. He has a waist. Even though the wings aren't articulated, you can do the sweep swoop.
The dreaded sweeps.
As a kid, I was like, that looks kind of dumb. Looks like a Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel of Scourge and pain. Vangelis did mention that Scourge's fingers, some people's copies, they say that the fingers, they'll break if you force them. Which I don't know why you would force anything on your toys. But there are people that do that. It's like, oh, this is a toy. Psh, oh, I broke it. Yeah, she broke it. So, moving on to the alt mode, which is the space boat. Space boat. The space boat is a shell former, like most Transformers. As you can see in the bottom, he's like peekaboo. You can see his arms, his legs, his torso. If you open them up, you can see basically Scourge is standing up in there. I like how his shoulders disconnect so that his arms go all the way down there. It looks like he has a port down here. So that if you do have a stand, you could put the stand in there. So that way you can have a space soap boat flying. These thrusters are articulated. They only move in like that for the transformation. And I've heard that you could display him. He does have ports on the side for his guns, but you have to, if you really want to get the peg in, you have to display the gun at an angle. Because like that, you could break a peg. I've heard you could display him with his face out, but I always thought that looked kind of dumb because basically you're coming at the enemy like that and they see your face. They're gonna shoot your face. That's the first thing they're gonna go for. Hit him right between the eyes. Oh!
Guilty or innocent?
Um, Scourge being part of the Studio Series 86 figures. Studio Series figures don't usually hit closeout stores a lot. The last time I saw Studio Series figures at closeouts was the Green Ratchet, Car Shatter, and Cogman. They're not exactly winners, so uh, uh, I'm not expecting Studio Series 86 to show up at any closeout stores. So if you can get him, at least get one. Don't if you're I I I don't buy third party figures, so I usually just buy Hasbro stuff. But get your hands on one. He's great. He's awesome. Out of the Studio Series guys, um, he's one of the best in my opinion. Like I mentioned before, it's been leaked by Cyber Cookie reports that we're getting sweeps, but I would recommend you start army building now, just in case those sweeps. For some reason, I think the sweeps might be like pink, for some reason, or lighter blue, maybe a ACOM animation error color or something. uh, but I don't know what they're gonna change with the sweeps. But it might be so much so that if you're like a guy who believes cartoon is king, when you put the sweeps with Scourge and they don't match, you're gonna be like, ugh, I should get more Scourge. So get Scourge while you can if you're gonna army build. If not, just get one. I think if you're really desperate, CMD store has him and Hot Rod. Well, they have him also alone, but you can go there if you need a Scourge. I'm Aries 083, and I'll see you later, Carburetor. Scourge, don't use that matrix, you'll get puffy. What matrix?